Hello and good afternoon. Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. LASTMA urges motorists to use Whistle app to report traffic incidents, violations. Nigeria Center for Disease Control activates emergency center as Lassa fever cases rise to over 1,000. On a foreign sea, United States President commutes 37 federal death sentences. And in sports, acting Super Eagles coach highlights importance of CHAN 2024 qualification to growth of local league. And now, the details. I am Akan Usen. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASTMA, has introduced an application tagged the Whistle app, reaffirming its dedication to mitigating traffic congestion through the deployment of advanced technology. In a statement, LASTMA Director of Public Affairs and Enlightenment Department, Adebayo Taufik, said the application empowers Lagosians to report reckless driving, traffic violations, one-way contraventions, and other disruptive occurrences directly to the agency. According to him, upon receiving such reports, the agency will respond swiftly to address the situation, whether by decongesting traffic, managing accident scenes, or removing obstructive vehicles, thereby fostering a safer and more efficient commuting experience for all. The Lagos State Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, LSCPWB, has commenced the airlifting of Christian pilgrims to Israel and Jordan with a strong message of unity and focus. At the flag of ceremony with the theme, Pilgrimage of Renewed Hope for Total Restoration, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, urged the 3,054 pilgrims, urged the 354 pilgrims to stay focused, united, and be good ambassadors of the state and country. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, advised the pilgrims to be deeply prayerful, seeking an encounter with the Lord to strengthen their faith in Him. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu encouraged them to obey the laws of the Holy Land, follow their tour guide's instructions, and maintain good conduct throughout the pilgrimage. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Stephen Adibite, prayed for a safe journey and urged the pilgrims to remain focused, avoid distractions during the pilgrimage. The National Civil Society Coalition, NSCSCN, the body of CSOs in Nigeria, says it has planned to visit the Port Harcourt refinery by January 2025 for independent assessment. The body also says a 50-man committee has been set up in this regard. According to a statement by the head of the NCSCN, Blessing Akan Usen, the visit became paramount following reports from certain quarters doubting the integrity of the refinery. Akan Usen noted that the findings at the strategic working visit shall be made public globally for the avoidance of doubts by Nigerians and interest groups. And now to the rest of the stories. Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, says the Emergency Operations Center has been activated for Lassa fever, and the risk assessment categorized it as high. This is as it recorded 1,154 confirmed cases of Lassa fever out of the 9,492 suspected cases and 190 deaths so far in 2024. Director General of the NCDC, Jide Idris, who stated this at a press briefing in Abuja, said the agency continues to address the current Lassa fever outbreak during this peak season. He stated that the case fatality rate has consistently remained high at over 13%, and there is a rise in the number of suspected cases compared to a similar timeline in 2023, attributing this to increased and enhanced surveillance. It is said most cases continue to emerge from endemic areas like Bauchi, Ondo, Edo, Taraba, Ebonyi, and Enugu, underscoring the need for targeted interventions in these states. Environmental health experts have urged Nigerians to shun indiscriminate dumping of refuse, open defecation, and every form of pollution in order to prevent diseases, promote health, and prolong life and efficiency. They made the call at the launch of Practical Premises Inspection Manual for Health Professionals by the Director of Environmental Health Services at the Lagos State College of Health Technology, LASCO head Daniel Peters. Secretary Registrar, West Africa Health Examinations Board, Bola Oladejo, said the government, policymakers, professionals, and individuals have crucial roles to play in keeping the environment clean and making it hygienic. On their part, the National President, Environmental and Public Health Practitioners Association of Nigeria, Samuel Akingbe, and the President of Environmental Health Officers and Practitioners, Cyril Akinyele, said the basis of healthcare service delivery and sustainability is all about a healthy environment by identifying environmental nuisances that can affect public health, noting that the only way to identify them is through housing inspection. They noted that the manual will help environmental practitioners and public health professionals handle public health issues, both emerging and re-emerging global issues. The author and Director of Environmental Health Services, LASCO head Daniel Peters, stated that sustainable prevention of diseases is not just a day's affair, but must involve a thorough inspection, understanding of the diseases, their mode of spread, epidemiology, and their etiology.
Industry should stop polluting the environment, discharging fumes into premises. I mean, some fumes can be carcinogenic, and what people inhale matters. Industry should be mindful of what they discharge. Our water should not be polluted. Why we inspect industries is to detect untreated effluent. If untreated effluent is discharged into the land, it affects the soil, it affects plants. Some of them are accumulated into plants, and eventually we eat them. Some of them are discharged into water bodies. We drink these water bodies.
And that was the Director of Environmental Health Services at the Lagos State College of Health Technology, LASCO head Daniel Peters. And now to foreign news. United States President Joe Biden has commuted the sentences of 37 out of 40 federal death row inmates, switching their penalty to life in prison without parole. The three excluded from the measure include the Boston Marathon bomber and the man who killed Jewish worshippers in 2018. In a statement, President Biden said he was more convinced than ever that governments must stop the use of the death penalty at the federal level. His decision comes before the return of President-elect Donald Trump in January, who resumed federal executions when he was in office. The president's measure does not include more than 2,000 people convicted to death by state authorities. Earlier this month, Biden commuted the sentences of nearly 1,500 people and pardoned 39 more convicted of non-violent crimes. And away from all that, now sports. Super Eagles assistant coach Daniel Ogumodede says qualifying for the 2024 African Nations Championship is of great importance to the Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL). This is coming after the home Eagles held Black Galaxies of Ghana to a goalless draw in the first leg of their qualifying tie in Accra on Sunday. Ogumodede, who expressed satisfaction with his team's performance in the game, said qualification will add more value to the league, the players, and the indigenous coaches. The reverse fixture will hold at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, Akwa Ibom, on Saturday. The overall winners will advance to the delayed 2024 CHAN to be played in February in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. And that's all for the news at 4. Your vehicle is not a strong room. Always keep your valuables off the view of miscreants. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, 18,000 teachers were trained under Eco Excel? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has introduced an application tagged the Whistle app, reaffirming its dedication to mitigating traffic congestion through the deployment of advanced technology. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has activated the Emergency Operations Center for Lassa fever, and the risk assessment categorized it as high. We also told you United States President Joe Biden has commuted the sentences of 37 out of 40 federal death row inmates, switching their penalty to life in prison without parole. And in sports, Super Eagles assistant coach Daniel Ogunmodede has stated that qualifying for the 2024 African Nations Championship is of great importance to the Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Oluwaporoku. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.